Hello, it's Caroline from Sante Women's Coaching, and recently I had a friend ask me for some shoulder exercises, so here's a couple of my favorites. These are going to be increasing your strength and your flexibility, two very important aspects of shoulder health. Remember to keep in mind that when you're working your shoulders, you always want to stretch them after you've warmed them. So we will start by warming them up. For this one, you're going to come onto your hands and knees, making sure that you have knees directly below your hips. Your wrists are below your shoulders, adjusting as necessary. And it's a very small movement with this one. You pull in your core so that your back is nice and flat. You're very stable in your position. And then you allow your chest to collapse in between your arms. Your arms are staying straight. All that's moving is the shoulder blades on your back. The shoulder blades will actually, if you can, you'll try to get them to touch on the back. Right here at the inner edge. And then as you're squeezing them up, you're trying to get as much space in between the shoulder blades. So you push them up towards the sky, and then you lower them down and collapse them together. Only do this as much as you have the strength in your upper back. You will feel it underneath your shoulder blades, and it is a very deep exercise. Don't be surprised if, even though it's such a tiny thing, you can't do it for as long as you would expect. So do it until you're feeling tired. That could be 10 reps, that could be 15. And then, if you need to stretch it, you can always stretch your shoulders in child's pose, reaching as far forward as possible. Then from that same position, we get to do a torso twist, and I love torso twists. So we're going to keep one hand stable to the ground. We're going to bring our other hand up towards the sky. And you're just twisting up. And then you reverse. What you want to make sure you keep in mind is that your hips are staying stable and they're squared to the floor. So you're just twisting up and down. This one will really open the shoulders and the torso, and it feels great. So do that for as long as you need to. That could be 10 reps, that could be 15 reps, whatever feels good to you. Remember, all of these exercises are whatever feels good to you. Don't ever do them if they don't feel good. So our shoulders are nice and warm. The next thing we want to do is make sure that they're ready to become more flexible. So let's just pick them up and roll them back. And we're just moving the shoulder blades, allowing the shoulder girdle right here to just kind of move around, and it just feels good. Okay, now we're going to take our hands behind us. We're going to interlace the fingers with our palms in, and we squeeze behind. So again, we're actually going to feel the shoulder blades coming together on our back, and it feels really good. Then we're going to bring it forward, and we're going to have our palms open out, and we're going to stretch the hands out. And again, enjoy the stretch. Take as much time as you need to. Don't rush through this. And then we bring it back. Now, the next thing we want to do is taking the right arm up, allowing it to rest comfortably on the left shoulder blade, and then we just pull the right elbow gently down. And this one, everybody looks different when they're doing this one. I have a lot of space between my elbow and my shoulder because of the length here, so I can actually kind of have my head resting underneath comfortably. Many people don't have that same length, so if you feel like your neck is being pushed forward and you're having to jet your head or chin down, this may just be one that you want to not do. So make sure you switch and do the other side. Again, stretching, you're going to feel it here in the tricep as well as in the shoulder. Eventually you're working on connecting the hands behind your back, but that can take a long time, so don't rush that one. Next, we're going to do a traditional yoga shoulder opener, and that's called eagle pose. So we're going to take both hands out. We're going to rest the right elbow on top of the left elbow, and then we can allow the backs of the hands to just touch comfortably. If this feels like, it's not so much, we could do more, then you're going to continue to spiral the hands, and now the palms touch as well. This you will feel deep in your shoulders. It feels great, but remember, if it's too much, just back off. Just go back to this version, or just do this. This works too. If your shoulders are really tight, this is good. Make sure, of course, that you're doing it on both sides equally. So now I've got my left on top, and I'm just stretching. Every day is different, and your shoulders are probably going to be different depending on if it's your right or your left. So don't push it to act the same way as your strong or your dominant shoulder, because they're different. Respect that difference. So our last exercise is with a band. You can use, this is a strap, a yoga strap. You can also use carpets, or rather blankets, or Mexican blankets work well. You can use the rubber or elastic bands that you see in some gyms. Those work fine, except for me personally, I prefer straps, simply because I've had those lovely elastic bands snap on me in the middle of movement, and when you have a thick band like this snapping you in the back, it hurts. It's not fun. So I prefer straps. They aren't going to do that to me. So with the strap, and this is a great exercise to end any shoulder routine with. So I'm going to take it up above my head, and I'm just letting it stretch for a moment. I'm allowing my shoulders to adjust, and then I'm going to try to bring it back behind, and I'm lowering it down carefully. I have it out wide, but everyone is different. You might find that you can actually go more narrow, and that's just a matter of bringing your hands in and decreasing the space in between your hands. As you get more flexible, you can do that. Just don't push it, because if it's not comfortable, you're probably pushing the stretch too much. You don't want to do that. You're not going to help your shoulders at all. We have to be very careful with the shoulders. Once something happens to the shoulder, it's extremely difficult to fix it. So just be careful and mindful of that. Remember, whenever you're doing your shoulder work, always make sure you're warmed up first. If you don't do the strengthening exercises that we did at the beginning, then make sure that you do your stretches with your other regular day-to-day strengthening exercises. But please be careful with your shoulders. Really respect them, because they aren't replaceable, and they are amazing feats of engineering. So enjoy these exercises. I hope they help. Go through these, see what you need from this, and let me know. Comment down on the bottom below, and I can always do another video. I have so many fun shoulder exercises that I love to share, because for me, shoulder health is huge. So have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.